All right, guys. How to cast left-handed. You just have to make yourself do it. And so, here is what I find. This was taught to me by Janis Henitz. He's just a fabulous Scandinavian caster, underhand caster. If you keep your elbow in front like this, see, keep your elbow here, then you can do anything you want with your top hand. You can go out and you can swivel around, but you can't get too far back because you're pinning your elbow to your chest. So it forces you to use your underhand in your sweep around, out, and then your underhand in your forward cast. So you can use your top hand too, but it forces you to sweep with your bottom hand and cast with your bottom hand. You can drift up a little bit if you want to, but you can also go around and then forward. If you keep this elbow, just like if you have this rod pinned to your rib cage and you don't want to drop it in the water, it'll force you to use your bottom hand. You naturally want to use your top hand, or I do anyway, so top hand's going to be there. But for the bottom hand, it takes a lot of reconditioning because we're just not used to using it, I guess. I don't know. So this is pinned and this is sweeping and pulling in. There's less moving parts and less can go wrong. I'm not real good at shorter lines with my left hand, so I'm going to practice some and keep my elbow pinned, and that'll really make the rod do the work. It just simplifies things, and it's just probably one of the best things I've ever learned. So here we go. All right, everybody, happy Valentine's Day. This is done with a 13-foot Deer Creek rod. Right there, I forgot to hold on to my running line. So that's something to always think of when you're using mono. Most of these Perry Poke clips, I really do not care for the way I'm lifting my elbow up. I like to do these kind of as a out and around, no lift, really cast. Constant tension, constant motion. I like it smooth, out and around and up and over the top. And you can see I'm lifting up my elbows a little bit and drifting. I don't particularly care for that. I am casting a 570 grain, 19.5 foot Skagit head with 10 feet of T14 and a weighted bug. So these casts are basically butt ugly, but you can do it. It's good to have a single spey and a Perry Poke and a spiral spey in your arsenal to add with all your Skagit casts. So I'm practicing left-handed with a short head, trying to do everything I talked about in the beginning of the video.
More power into my
with most of
back
these casts, you're going to see, especially the Perry Poke deals for some reason, you're going to see I have a tendency to sweep, drift. See how my drift turned into a creep? Creep is when your rod creeps forward. There, right at the beginning of the cast, I creep up a little bit, and then I punch that forward cast just about on all of these Perry Poke casts.
There's no smoothness.
Right there, I'm talking about how there's no power in my D-loop, which does help. And then right here, sweep, drift, loop. That's a mini cast. Let's see what I do. Sweep. That was a little better, but it was a bad cast. And then, let's see what I do here. Sweep, I lift up. That was better, and that was a better cast. I didn't creep into my forward cast. Creep means when you go, supposed to go from 10 to 2, and you go from 10 to 11 to 2. That right there, no angle, no 10 to 2 angle, and I punched it too hard. That time, Most all of these is a little creep. That was better. Still a crappy cast. Anyway. Now for the single spey, on some of these ones where I'm lifting high, the biggest problem is I'm not using my bottom hand to sweep. That is not too bad. I don't really creep there, and that's a nice cast. The tendency in the single spey, though, especially with the higher lift, and even in these spiral spey ones, I'm not there. That was better, but I'm not getting that 10 to 2. That's better. Angle, I'm going to cast from 10 to 2. 10 being, midnight straight up rod position. That's 2. That's pretty good. Little creep. You want to smoothly accelerate, but you don't want to creep and make your casting angle all short. Yeah, these kind of don't have the good casting angle because I don't use a bottom hand to sweep the rod back. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about all this. It's not, I don't know what to tell you. You gotta see no bottom hand in the sweep there. I kind of doing this high lift thing, I kind of forgot to sweep with my bottom hand, like right there. See, I rotate my body nice, but I don't use my bottom hand till there. It's an okay cast, but I'd rather have that wide casting angle. Let's see what I do here for grins. Better. I like that better. Better. And not real good turnover, but that is a pretty clunky setup. It's just not going to cast pretty. So, and I probably need to stretch my gadget head a little bit before I cast because it kind of gets all curly and stuff. But anyway, practice with your left hand up. Obviously, I need to do more. And the only way to do it is just do it. Muddle your way through, and you'll be surprised how much you can accomplish if you just do it, especially if you pin that upper elbow to your rib cage. See, bad. Cast kind of, I don't know. That's just bad. No casting angle. No 10 o'clock back cast, 2 o'clock forward cast. It's more like that's a little better, a little bit better cast. Anyway, happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for watching. And I've got a Valentine's Day surprise coming up at the end. It's a real happy ending for y'all. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, comment, like, dislike. That wasn't too bad. I wish my casting angle would have been better. Adios. Hey, honey. Happy Valentine's Day. I know I can't be with you, so I made you this little song. I'm going to run it by my friends first. If I was a steelhead and you were a fly, I'd bite you on the stinger hook the second you swam by. Oh, if I was a steelhead and you were one too, I'd follow you to some remote red and you know what we do. Oh, I know you think I'm working, but I'm really out here fishing. I'm not making the money like I know that you'd be wishing. But I've gotta get this monkey off my back. I've been casting like a crazy man. So many times I've lost track. But we'll do what 3 salt sexually mature steelhead do the second I get back. Happy Valentine's Day, babe. Oh, if I was a steelhead and you were a fly, I'd bite you so hard I'd have the barb in my nose, and I'd never let you go. If I was a steelhead, you'd be my Valentine too. That's all I could come up with on short notice. And if you were on the far seam, I'd cast as far as I could chuck it, and with any luck at all, I'd hook you in the bucket. Oh, if I were a fisherman. I even like the artificial colors on the river. It's so pretty. Yellow and gold and maroon, pink and purple and red. If you were a river,